What? Did this actually maybe kind of sort of work? I don't believe it. Let me check. Oh my god. It actually works. Hey, first off, cue the sorry, just getting error messages in my streaming software. um anyway, cue the theme song. You have to imagine it. I'm not a musician. We had one. We had one 12 years ago. My friend my friends and I, we decided to make this podcast like 12 years ago. We had a theme song. It's not licensed yet. I use the word yet because we're still kind of sort of working on it. Uh, my friend's just too busy jet hopping or jet setting to help me address the issue. But we're working to get the theme song. So for now, you just have to, imagine. Good afternoon or good evening for you East Coasters. So imagine a theme song from sea to shining sea. All right. So welcome to episode 1. I'm your host, Danny, and we have a lot to talk about. Actually, don't know if we'll get through it all, but we will try. Aided by my friend. We'll try to get through it all here. So bear with me. It can be a little bit rough, but we'll see how it goes. Right. First off, to recap the F1, to bring us up to speed on those new followers, new watchers, viewers, we chose Verstappen and Red Bull. I know we don't have Red Bull with us. We don't drink Red Bull, but we like Verstappen. So obviously, not a good start. Um, you know, last when I started following the season was about when they started run war, but Verstappen, again, to recap some of our previous broadcasts, um, Ferrari kind of, surprising me. Um, so in China, God, was that the last race 10 years ago? I was watching the Chinese one live, but it looks like Japan. Google's failing me. Sorry. But Australia got the recap for China. We watched a little bit live. Mercedes and Ferrari kind of doing what they do best, getting back to form for Ferrari. Pleasant surprise on that. Now, it's not a lag. It's just looking at Bahrain. Yeah, Bahrain's coming up in a few days. Has not happened yet. Sorry, Japan. Sorry, Japan. Of course, Bahrain, Middle East, Iran stuff going on. Former journalist and me looking 1 week ahead of everything. But yeah, Bahrain still canceled. Saudi canceled. Miami. Miami's on. We're going to party in Miami on May 3rd. Japan is still on in a few days. So far, just two races in. Australia, and China. So, again, talking about going back to the season opener, again, are different dynamics, even different engineering, whole new car created by every team. So when they say a new era for Formula One, that's not an understatement. That is reality for these teams. And they're just getting in with two races. So Mercedes took 1 and 2, Ferrari 3 and 4 for the first race of the season. McLaren with Lewis Hamilton. Okay, so aside from Ferrari, immediate reaction was McLaren and Lewis Hamilton was like my big WTF moment. Like, what's going on? Um, then we go to China, and we went to Shanghai, and Mercedes. Okay, we take 1 and 2. Ferrari still at 3 and 4, so these two teams still up there. But Hamilton, man. So Hamilton took 3. Okay, to his credit, he took like the bronze third position. But number 3, okay, Hamilton, come on, shin check. What's you doing to you? Like, we had a thumbnail worked up that some of y'all may have caught before we decided to scrap it. Thank you to our producers. Shout out to Damien and the boys back in the back there producing us. Um, and it was really Jerry with his idea over here. I said, hey, maybe not mention, tone down on the Kardashian angle. Because the Kardashian curse, okay, come on. Um, Look at all her exes. Look at all Kim's exes, okay? All the ones I know of, and I don't follow the Kardashians at all. Like, I watched one episode, 15 minutes of one episode. The second time I managed to make it through 15 minutes. Like, the first time, like, it was like 2 minutes. But, Ray J, Kanye, where are these guys now? Ye went crazy. I guess that's still his name today. But Kanye went crazy. Like, I used to know someone that is audio tech for his church and out in LA or wherever. Um, Ray J, don't know who he was even, has been, never was been. Um, Hamilton, and that's ignoring all the people that could have been in between. I don't know. But Hamilton, don't know if he's still with Cam, but probably probably not good was a hypothesis that we had for this whole Kim and Lewis saga. All right. So so far results are proving me right. Mercedes is doing admirable. I'd say admirable. I mean, they took 1 and 2, then he took 1 and 2 again. Uh, Hamilton with Ferrari though. Ferrari again. Maybe it's doing admirable by Ferrari standards. Certainly based on their past performances and past races. Um, Judging by the past, okay, third maybe. I mean, and you had Leclerc in third on the Australian Grand Prix. So is that the best Ferrari can do this year? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll go to Japan here in a few days. And we'll find out. To pull it out. He's just having a run of bad luck. Again, new era of car dynamics, car engineering, style, even. I can't imagine what it's like to be behind the wheel of one of these race cars. Um, you know, did not finish. He did not. Verstappen did not finish in China. Did not finish. Did he finish? Did he even start in Australia? Um, okay, yeah. He finished at 6. Okay, sorry. My bad, my boy. He finished 6th in Australia. But on Australia, the do not starts list and do not finish list was like, all right, kind of, you have to wonder. It begs the question, does it set the tone for 2026 F1? One has to wonder. Now, going to Japan, drivers worked out the kinks, some not. And it's really could be foreboding of what may lie in the future races. Here's where we segue to my partner segment: egg sandwiches. Egg sandwiches. You know, who who can resist a good egg sandwich? Danny makes them best. So, egg sandwiches aside, segue aside, and F1 getting into um, what do we have on the list today? Movies and TV. So, Pluribus, for those that don't follow Pluribus, I think you should. And to educate us, I bring on the first guest for Sea to Shining Sea. Not sponsored by Monster. If this will work, let's try and see if it works. Bear with me. We're working out the kinks here in the studio. Damon, what's going on here? Let me go back and find out. Oh, we still don't have. Okay, we should have. Where is he? All right. Oh, there he is. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the studio. How's all right. So, Danny, just want to thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. Now we're talking Pluribus. Let's get right into it. So, Pluribus. Basic premise is trying to, but it's an Apple TV produced show, award winning show, starring some Emmy nominated and possibly winning. Got to check on that. But Oscars were a few days ago, but Emmys, big thing. TV's the new Hollywood, TV's the new cinema. So, looking at Pluribus, the basic premise of it is this virus or something or other from far reaches of outer space come infect all 8 billion basically people, like maybe 800 and some odd million die. Not to get too biblical on you, but 12 of them are not affected. And it follows the life primarily of one person. And it's written by Vince Gilligan. Vince Gilligan, I'm wrong on the other day. You said your last podcast, whatever you had on, you said Vince Gilligan was part of Stranger Things, but it wasn't. He was part of Breaking Bad. Now, you said Breaking Bad was too slow. You said Breaking Bad was too drawn on out for you. You talked about the Fly episode. Everyone talks about the Fly episode. Let me tell you, Fly episode was a masterpiece in cinema. All right? And Pluribus, if you don't have Pluribus on your radar, you better, and you should know this too, you should put Pluribus on your radar. Again, produced by Apple TVs, some of the finest TV we have today. And Vince Gilligan today, or this week, yesterday, whenever, they came going with Pluribus Season 2. We don't have a roadmap. So there's nothing looking ahead for us. Now, I know what you're thinking. What am I thinking? So tell me, enlighten me, the uneducated, the new viewers out there. You know, what are we thinking? Again, Vince Gilligan, of course, award-winning showrunner, director, writer. No one doubts Vince Gilligan, but are there some doubts now? Do we have some question marks appearing in the headlines and in the uh, among fans? Yes. Well, of course, there are some question marks, and you have to respect the audience, and I believe Vince Gilligan has respect for the audience. Just to lay it out there, Vince Gilligan knows what he's doing. Some concerns, of course, but the important thing to know about or to remember about TV shows today is there's a 2-year production schedule from pre-production, production, post-production. If you're Scorsese, if your name is Martin Scorsese and you're making a 4-hour movie, okay, there's a 4-year schedule. Let my boy cook. So that's all I have to say. I'm sure Vince Gilligan will get it worked out. He worked it out with Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul. I don't know what he did there. Maybe he did that. I don't know, but didn't watch it. But I had to fly up, so yeah, it bothered me a little bit too, to be honest. But we followed him. Let's follow him to the end with Pluribus. That's all I have to say. All right. On that note, um, boy, man, it's really hard to digest such an enlightening take from our expert on TV, Daniello. Um, so we'll take a break from egg sandwiches, and we're back. So, stream you've seen all day. Um, what other podcast? Name me. Your homework is name me one other podcast that doesn't have god awful sponsored segments in the first 30 seconds to 1 minute. Like, am I the only one that doesn't, that has, I can't be the only one that has that browser extension installed for Firefox to auto skip the sponsored segments. Come on. Um, Rumor is that Nintendo is stopping, not stopping, oh God. They're slowing down the Switch 2 production for America. Fast take on this is I want to quote, I think it was Bill Clinton that said, "It's the economy, stupid." Um, yeah, of course, support the Switch 2. That's number one. Number two, haha, fun. Number two, um, as someone that would like to buy one myself, the Switch OLED. Whereas, the Switch 1, we had an OLED version. We had multiple OLED versions, special themed versions. We had the Pokemon one, for example. I think there was even a Zelda one. If you're going to release a Switch 2 with only two main games, Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, these are like the primary Switch exclusives you have right now. And we're going into post-release. Okay, 6 months, whatever. Um, why should I buy your garbage? For sure, I realize the Switch 2 is a great leaps and bounds better hardware capability wise, but you already had the price increase due to the global DRAM shortage, the pandemic, blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z. So you're already increasing the prices of the original Switch. Then you're not giving me exclusives that are in my opinion, for me, worthy of the money. Um, and you're not giving me OLED. If you're not giving me OLED, um, now game changer for me, and those of us that work at Elevane LLC. Elevane is he's really focused on Pokemon. So after finishing 28 of the 32 Pokemon that were released as of like 2020 or 2022, now there's like 36 Pokemon games, mainline games. Um, we are really interested, highly, like, and Donald Trump told how much we are interested. The very best people are telling me all the time, Danny, you got to finish Pokemon. Yes, we are going to finish the Pokemon mainline franchise and Legends Arceus, or I think it's called Legends ZA. I don't know if they're including Arceus in the title, but that's the only thing for Pokemon or for Switch 2 that we're interested in, which might get us to buy a Switch 2, but realistically, waiting for OLED. So until that time, no more news. I don't think on the gaming front. We have news on tech fronts, but we can save that till more things develop on that front. Talk about that on episode 2. But until then, we really, really, boy Timmy over there, he's got some stuff cooking up in the shop. Um, I expect merch to drop within 3 to 4 weeks in Egypt. If you're in the States, it might be 1 to 2 weeks. So until then, you know what? Keep gaming, keep watching TV, keep watching movies. Let me know what you're watching. Let me know what you're playing, and we'll talk about it next time. So, from sea to shining sea, from Cairo to Houston to LA. Hey, thank you. Be well.